Hey there.
Good morning.
We are at Junk Stock, you guys, and we are sitting here where we're actually standing because we're by this tree. I know. I wing it as I go with Tanya, and she is the founder of Sway. So I want to know, number one, Tanya, where are you from?
I'm from a little town out in the northeastern corner of Colorado, a little town called Yuma, where Kansas hits Nebraska, out in the middle of nowhere, like the definition of BFE. Yeah, oh my God. Actually, I live on a ranch outside of Yuma, so I'm 20 miles past BFE. So that's me, yeah.
So cool. Where did you come up with this name for this business? I want to know this.
So I was actually sitting on the back of I was sitting on the porch, and I actually pulled out I'd come up with the idea, and I pulled out a notebook, and I was writing down ideas, and I had every awful idea from like hairband, and I was going to go with like some sort of like a rock and roll 80s like kind of motif, whatever. And so then I just I wanted it to be very like woman empowering, and so I thought about, like, what does hair do? I was like, well, hair sways. And so then I started like thinking of acronyms to go along with it, and it just like fell into place, like She Will Amaze You. And so I love that your hair sways, and it's a verb, and like it just like, I just love everything about the name of it because it's women empowering, but it also goes along with the hair, and so it just fit perfectly.
And it just sways.
It just sways.
It just sways. I love it. I love it. Okay, so you have to have a backstory, and that's where we want to get dirty and into the deets. What made you? First of all, you had to work other jobs, right? I mean, obviously.
My God. Yes. So I actually have a degree in public relations, which I lived in Las Vegas for years and did public relations, and it was absolutely awful. I realized, and it's funny, I kind of came up with the idea that I wanted to be an entrepreneur back then in my like early 20s because I was standing on set with this comedian who I was representing, and I won't disclose her name because she's still working, but
yeah.
she's
still doing her thing.
Awful person.
Girl, she's an awful person doing her thing.
so I was like, why am I working this hard to make this woman famous? I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And that was like, I was 25 at the time. I'm like, and it took me obviously 20 years to like get my act together. So it wasn't overnight, but,
girl, I'm still trying to get my act together.
We're all trying to get our act together. But
what fun is that?
Yeah. So I kind of left public relations. I was really just absolutely miserable at it. And then I decided to do, photography, and so I went to art school in LA. Same thing, like I found that all of my future was based on, it's a male-dominated industry, like everything is.
Yeah.
But advertising is a male-dominated industry, so I kept bucking up against, like, I was the better photographer, but I kept running into, like, they'd hire their drinking buddy or whatever.
Right.
And I was like,
right.
I'm like,
you were a girl. You were a female.
There's
it was.
There's no beating like your drinking buddy. Like,
right.
Like I'd hire you.
Cheers to that.
That's what I'm saying.
You're already hired. You don't have to put me on the payroll.
So I was just like, oh my God, like regardless of how hard I work at this, it's not like my destiny is not up to me. And so I moved back to Colorado to kind of like figure out my life a little bit from LA, and because I was in LA for 8 years and just absolutely miserable.
Is crazy.
I'm sorry.
That's so sad. But like all these fun places that you were at, and then you still weren't happy.
Oh my!
And that's the sad thing.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing that I've learned like through the years. Like you've got to like become happy with yourself.
You have to love yourself,
regardless of where you are. I could have been in like St. Lucia in business. Well, I probably wouldn't have been miserable in St. Lucia, but but it's So that's then I moved home to Colorado. Blah blah blah. I was in the way I came up with Sway. Oh, do you want that or no?
Yeah, I want it all. I want it all.
You're like, oh my God,
now girl, no, I love it. No, this is what it's about. Like, we want the details. I want all like the dirt. Like, we want to know, like, really, this is all about empowering other women. And so some people are so scared to step out there and do it. And we have to encourage each other and love
Oh
each
my
other.
gosh.
And what you're doing is so phenomenal. So that's why we want the backstory. We want to know, like look at all the places you were and you've been and where you've come from. And it's like, and now look where you are. You're in the middle of a cornfield in Wahoo, Nebraska. At an amazing event that is like well known all over the world. And it's so cool that we get to come here together and do this. So yes,
absolutely.
I want to hear it. So keep going.
So I, like I said, moved back to Colorado and was doing like family photography, which, was not what I wanted to do at all. Actually, when I got out of school, I wanted to do war photography. And like, there was this constant, like, just being a girl, there was this constant, like, oh, you can't do that, or you should be, and it was in my own brain.
Yeah, right.
And it was also,
get a real job.
it was other people telling me that as well, like, oh, you can't do that, like, that's too, too scary, or
Sorry,
you're going to get hurt, or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
They wouldn't tell that to a man. Like,
No.
So,
Well, we're
like,
not tough.
Yeah.
We can't handle it. We're going to cry.
Yeah.
You're emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was totally the thing. Like, I just couldn't ever get hooked up with like the end to do that because nobody ever wanted to hook me up with it. So moved back to Colorado, long story long, moved back to Colorado, tried to figure out life, and I was actually in a workout class, and there was this gal in front of me, and she literally had 55 bobby pins in her hair, trying to like keep her bangs and layers under control. I was like, what's going on there in front of me? And so I went home and I pulled out my sewing machine that I hadn't pulled out since I was probably 7th or 8th grade, like, home ec, because we used to have home ec when I was little. And so
I remember home ec. We are that old, okay? Don't let the makeup and the lighting and all the apps.
The Botox fool you.
Yes. Or Annie Fanny Sunshine. Go ahead.
So it was, so moved back. Well, oh, sorry, I got distracted.
You're
when
good.
we started talking about Botox, and I was like, that's a whole other topic. So I went home, pulled out my sewing machine, like literally Googled how to like make certain stitches, and made my first really rough headband, and then it's
Do
been
you
on
still
since
have
then.
that rough headband?
Oh yeah, it's hanging on my bulletin board in my.
We
in
have
my
to get
thing.
a picture of that for this podcast
Oh
to
my
show
gosh.
everybody.
I will send it to you.
You have your first like, oh my gosh, this is it. I'm doing it, and then it's like, wow, that was the beginning.
Oh
of
my God! Do you want to hear my "I'm doing this"?
Yeah, I would do.
Story.
I do.
So
we do.
sorry.
Don't we,
Now I'm
Nayeli?
just like la la la. You're like, I didn't say anything this whole time. So I was dating this like guy at the time that I came up with this idea, and he was like, what's the word I want? He was a gaslighter, in hindsight, right?
Okay.
And so we were. I was whatever. So every idea I came up with was of course stupid, and so we were. I told him about this, and like it was like progressing along slowly, and he finally goes, he's like, I don't even know why you're bothering with this. He's like, somebody else is going to steal this idea and they're going to squash you like a bug that you are. And I was just like, I'm out, and I'm going to make millions of dollars with this. And I have never stopped hustling since. And like
you had
every
a point to prove.
Yeah,
because that was another hurdle, another step that somebody put a stone in your way, and you're like, no, because I can move that stone, or I can climb that stone, but it's not going to stop me.
Oh yeah,
And,
it's just that fight to
It is.
like.
It is. And I think we have like more of a fight because we have to prove ourselves.
Oh
so
yeah.
because of that, it makes it even more fun
Oh,
to
yeah.
look back and be like, I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Look at me now.
Yeah. Look at me now. So fast forward to, I just was like reading up because I'm stalking you, of course. I'm reading up and I seen that you pitched your product. And you won some like amazing funds to help your business.
Oh my God.
So how scary was that to do that? First of all, to get your pitch together, to get your act together, and prove like you're the one. Pick me.
It was. So it was a pitch competition for Northeastern Colorado, and they selected it down to like 5 other entrepreneurs, and it was two women and 3 guys. Okay, and so I've always been a little like I'm so used to like pitching my product every day that I wasn't super worried about it, but also like you had to fit all these, like they gave you all these
Short time.
points
Put
to
it all
fit
in.
like you had 5 minutes to fit in 5 or 10 points. Like you had to hit. I'm like, how are you even supposed to do that? You got 30 seconds to be like, here's my margin, here's my blah blah blah, blah blah. So I did my speech and I practiced it non-stop for 3 weeks or whatever, however long I had to do it, and got up there, crushed it.
Oh, of course she did.
Yeah, but
crushing this podcast, by the way, as well.
So, but the funny thing is I was just terrified, like absolutely, like
nobody knows,
shaking.
Nobody knows the fear.
Oh my God, like it was bad.
Yeah, your knees are like, oh my gosh, am I going to trip?
Yeah,
yeah,
100%, 100%. And luckily, I had a table in front of me like this. Nobody else put a table out, but I wanted like to have my stuff with me.
Yeah.
So I put a table out
you
like
hold
this,
it.
and my legs. Whoa. I had heels on, and my legs were literally shaking.
I know
was
feeling.
just like,
I've been there, like, and I know it's the worst. Like, honestly, it's like, do they see me shaking? Yeah. Can they see me moving? Like, I'm like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah. And luckily I didn't have the microphone in my hand because it would have been like.
Good for you, though. You did it.
But
that was a fear for you.
So
you were scared. And
oh
it
my
was a
God,
fear, and
terrified.
You went there and you're like, I'm doing this. My fear is not going to take what could become of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's good for you.
And so
awesome.
But here's the funny thing. So there was this guy, hopefully he doesn't see this. There was this guy that was competing. He's going to see this. So there was this guy that I was competing against, and he was like some sort of like big rancher, and they were pitching some custom. I don't remember what it was. Custom meat something. I don't remember what it was. But the other girl and I were standing there talking. She had a bakery, so we were standing there talking, and he came up and he like swaggered up, and he was like, well, and we were like, oh, we're kind of nervous. Are you? And he's like, no, I've been doing something like financial something. He's like, I got this. And then like walked away. And her and I looked at each other. All right.
We're like, we're screwed. We're not going to get this.
Was pissed afterwards.
Sorry. Not sorry.
I'm like, take that check.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah, it was great.
So was it like something they told you right away or was it like, did you know right away, like right then that you
Yeah, they told us that day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So there was no like wait, because the wait is like brutal. You know, did I do it good enough? Did I say it, fast? Was I, did I screw this up? And
100%. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, it was only a couple, like maybe 30 minutes of like rethinking my life choices.
Oh. I mean, I have more than 30 minutes of thinking my life choices all the time.
Oh my God, right? That's what I entitle
like, okay, Lord, what was I thinking? Okay, God, you put me in this situation. And he's like, no, you had a free will. You decided to do what you wanted to do. You just made the choices. And I'm like, but the doors were open, Lord, so I walked in them.
Yes.
So, we question ourselves. And that's it's a self-esteem thing, for any woman that's trying to like do something, whether it be just working for another business or starting your own company. It's tough, and it's scary. And it's our mortgage payments. We have to make these payments. Like people think that they see us and they're like, oh my gosh, they must be balling. It's like, do you know what we had to do to get here, to set up, to make this happen? And, and so entrepreneurs, they get it, like the stuff that they have to go through every day, and it's easy to give up. It's easy to give up on yourself, but it's in everything. It's in like workout. It's easy to give up on workout. It's easy to just give up. And we have to encourage each other and not give up.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Here we are, sway, because you can do your sway. It's okay. Girl, that's going to be her new motto.
There you go. She just got my new tagline. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So show me how fun, and I have one in, as you guys can see. So it's basically, it clamps in, you tie it, you tuck the little bow. Everybody can wear them differently. She's got gorgeous hair and rocks it, but we're going to like let you do your thing.
Oh
so she has this cute one on now. They're all sewn. So she hand sews them all. They have little clamps in them. And they clip in your hair, and she's just going to demo one for you. So we have no mirror, so we're just going with it.
It's fine. It's easy to do.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's
Once you
fine.
get the feel of them, they're totally easy to do. So everything has clips in it. Oops. Yeah, and you got to take the clips out.
Yep. And so this is real. This is what happens when you're doing them at home.
There we go. Okay. Here we go. And so everything has clips in it. Super easy. You can wear them all in different styles. Do I have craziness going on with my hair?
It's looking good.
Perfect. All right. So you can even like start at the back with those clips. Oh, Annie has started at the back with those clips.
Yep.
And then, you can, like, this is the long one. She has the short one in, but you can do like little turbans.
Short people have more fun. Well,
you can do little turbans or wrap it back around your head or have them hanging off the back of your head or.
Oh, see, now that is cute.
I know, right?
See, now I wasn't paying attention, so I'll have to watch the video. She's zooming in on you, so
you can also
really
tie this in a little knot up here.
Yeah, I love that. Now that is cute.
Thank you. But
not that the other one wasn't cute, but
like
that is cute.
Brunch or like just like going out with the girls or like that day when you don't want to wash your hair or your roots are showing, like mine are.
Yeah, so that's what I said. I was at my other job, and I was like, when I'm wearing the bandana, my roots need to be done. And she's like, okay, noted. But she's like, it's cute. So, but we do it because we're like self-conscious. Again, another thing.
Oh my gosh.
But like, if you just don't want to feel like fixing your hair, this dresses you up like in a hot second, which I love.
Oh, it instantly dresses you up, and it also like adds a little bit of color to like.
Totally.
Like that little black dress or something. You throw on like one of these crazy colors with like maybe a matching handbag, and it like instantly like makes you look like you sort of worked hard on it for the day. So, and even ladies with like thin hair, like I love TikTok videos. I'm obsessed with like Instagram and TikTok, like hair videos.
Yeah.
Just because, I'm like, oh, but my hair would never look like that because I don't have 10 pounds of hair on my head, so I can't.
But your hair looks like it.
I fluffed it.
But it looks gorgeous.
Thank you.
You have very pretty hair.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. You have very pretty hair.
Oh, girl. Pump your brakes now. Now, calm down.
So, but if you have like really thin or fine or slick hair that's kind of hard to style, it adds that little bit of like something to it just to look like you.
Okay, so now, totally crazy question. Do you sell these online, Instagram, Facebook? Where do you sell them? Where can people buy them? Do you have stores? Tell us where to find you and how to get these in people's hands.
Usually crying in my shop is where you're going to find me.
Awesome.
No,
I just sewed 100 scarves. I ran out of the pink bubble. Yeah.
No, so I have my online store, Sway Headbands, and then also I'm working on getting my TikTok shop up because like TikTok is where it's at apparently. And so,
girl, YouTube is where it's at. Okay, what?
Well, no, YouTube
podcast. That is where it's at.
YouTube long form, definitely. I mean, yes, I love YouTube, but anyway. But
I agree. We have to get out on all those social platforms, and that's so you're thinking about doing it like a TikTok shop.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fabulous. And then get girls doing it and posting it because that's what we need to get other girls that are posting it and showing it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like women empowering women. Like when you buy it. We're so quick to lie. We're so quick to tell a friend or tell somebody, oh my gosh, I love your stuff. I love what you make. Okay, awesome. Have you ever liked my post?
Yeah.
Have you ever shared my post? Have you actually ever purchased it? Do you just want it for free? And I'm not calling them out, but I'm calling them out,
It's funny. I heard something the other day, like you're what is it? You'll make a customer a friend faster than you'll make a friend a customer.
So true. I love
that. So true. Like you came over and bought from me and you and I became friends like instantly.
Right.
I was like, oh, yeah. And then I came over and bought that like magical, what's that, like serum stuff?
Rectify.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it changes your life.
It so changed my it really changed my skin. So,
I love it. It's stepping out of our comfort zone. Actually, I think I came up to you and was like, did you unplug my power? I think that's how we met. Yes, that is how, so anybody that knows Annie, I will speak up real quick. And I'm like trying to set up my tent and setting up for junk stock. And I'm like, my freaking power's out. Where the freaking A is my? So I go around and then I'm like, there's this power cord that's plugged in and my cord's completely unplugged. And I'm like, all right. Who the hell unplugged my power? I'm like, okay, so then I'm like, she's this cute little thing that's back, got her little tent set up, and I'm like, this little diva unplugged my power. So I'm like, did you unplug? She goes, I didn't touch anything. And I was like, okay, how rude of it was me to accuse somebody that didn't even know what I was talking about. So again, stick your foot in your mouth, but.
Little does she know I totally unplugged her power.
She totally unplugged. She's gonna totally delete this podcast as soon as it goes.
I did not. I truly did not.
Had that not have happened,
we would not have met.
We would not have met.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Because I got pissed at you because you unplugged my power, but she didn't. We wouldn't have met. And so it's it's those things, and then we just hit it off. And I'm like, well, what do you do? Because now I felt guilty. I'm like, what? And then I'm like, oh my gosh, you actually sew these? Because my mom's a seamstress and sews like crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I would not you wouldn't want me to put a button on a shirt. Like, I could super glue a button, but I couldn't sew a button.
Once again, YouTube. I learned how to sew on YouTube. So there you go.
But I was impressed. I'm like, wow, these are really cool. And I like to wear the headband, but they fall out of your head. And I mean, I'll be at work and they're like, how do you get that to stay in there? Yeah. Do you have that clipped or something? And I'm like, okay, first of all, don't get so close because you're going to see my roots. Okay.
Stop it. Right now.
But it's cool because you made something just simple. And actually it was a clever idea. And a lot of women, they want to wear them. They don't know how to wear them. And it's easy. So had you never unplugged my power, we wouldn't have ever met. I forgot that story when we were talking. I'm like, wait, that's how we met.
Yeah. I had actually forgotten that as well.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
Oh my gosh.
So thanks for shutting me off.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, so back up your TikTok. You want to sell them on TikTok. Yeah. Where else? Like, say, there's a generation that doesn't do social media. They obviously, if they don't do social media, they're not going to hear this podcast. But you're going to hear this podcast because I'm going to make you hear it. Everybody's going to hear this podcast. How do we buy them online?
Swayheadbands.com. And then
we'll put the link below for sure.
And then I'm also working on wholesaling with like salons. So, right? Because I've worked with boutiques, and it's not quite, unless you're like sampling it or like really like thinking about hair at that moment in time, it doesn't like sell very well. And I don't want to sell my stuff to somebody that's just going to hang on their shelves for them. And so
you want it to sell.
Yeah. So I'm started like focusing on salons and that sort of thing.
Obviously everything costs money, marketing, costs money, but eventually, those frames, the audio frames that have a little video, 30-second video that shows how to put it in your hair.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you do a wholesale like that, you would want to talk to the buyer and be like, hey, we have this, but this is the cost of doing, like, you have to cover your costs. That's the bottom line, because they're going to make a wholesale price off of what, your product. You would have to include that in there, but it's kind of because to me, you need visual. A lot of people want visual. So they see them hang and they're like, okay. They look at the back and they're like, okay, I'm confused. I was confused. I was like, I had to go to her. I'm like, hey, you have to show me how to do this.
But you did it this morning by yourself.
But I did. I did it. This is all me. All Annie Fanny.
Oh, we're very proud of you.
Thank you. I'll take a 5. But to do a quick little, something to think about.
No, that honestly makes sense,
That's included in the wholesale price. Like, hey, this is what we have. This is what you get.
Kind of a starter display
it'll help you sell them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think I've seen a couple different places that have done that, and it actually stops you as you're a buyer, retailer. And you're like, wait, what is that? Like, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. Because hanging, it's hard to see.
100%. Hanging, like, people walk by my booth all day long and think that it's just a scarf or a blah, 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 headband or whatever. And so once I tell them, they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then,
and that's why we're doing this, because I want to show, we're going to have a couple videos so you can see, like, how she puts them in, how, just all the different ways, because you can wear them up top, down low, and I love them. They're absolutely gorgeous. The coloring is amazing. I don't know how you even decide, like, you probably have so much material in your house. It's insane.
Oh, it's,
so do you do this at home?
No, I actually have a shop on Main Street in my little hometown. But like,
love it.
Real estate in my little hometown is not like, it's not like I'm getting real estate in Denver or something, So it's, but that's part of why I took a step back to move home and like start this, because I knew that it'd be financially easier to, move to a small town.
Yep.
Socially, I've taken a hit, but that's okay. That's another story.
Hey, but you do take a hit when you want to do something for yourself.
And honestly, you have to.
And then in a way, you're loving yourself. You're giving back to yourself. So it's going to come full circle.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, 100%.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. So how long have you been doing this?
I came up with the idea at the end of 2016, and then the patent finally came through in 2020. One good thing that happened in 2020. And then,
seriously.
Like the middle of the raging pandemic, like everybody's like freaking out. Like my paper,
I'm gonna get a patent.
My patent came through. I was like, oh shit, we're still in the middle of a pandemic.
So many people were watching videos.
Yeah, and I should have started back then.
But you were still like, what am I doing? Should I do this?
Well,
the world is ending.
Yeah, and I had been trying to find, up until then, I'd been trying to find a manufacturer to work with, but every manufacturer was coming back to me with like a price of
stupid. Oh my
Stupid.
gosh. Yeah,
Like-
it is. If you've ever tried to start something,
Oh my God.
do it yourself.
Oh my God. At least for a
Manufacturing is
while.
when you have picked up so many wholesale accounts and you've, manufacturing
If
is.
you can do it yourself, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like
I did it backwards because I didn't know.
Oh.
I learned the hard way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So,
Lot
but
of
you know
money.
what? I did the same thing. Like, I had a manufacturer, and the first one was great, and then he just, I don't know, like, it was just so expensive. And
So expensive.
And like, you don't know what colors to pick, because I've learned the colors that I like are not necessarily the colors that everybody else like. Like, personally, I hate yellow. Hate it.
I mean,
hate yellow. And everybody's like, oh, yellow. I'm like, okay.
Okay, yeah, but it's not for you. It's for
not
them
for
to
me.
buy.
Yeah,
Right,
I look
yep.
like crap in yellow, so I
Yep.
never wear yellow. But
Yep.
anyway, people love yellow. But so what I think is going to sell is not what people are going to sell. So, or what is going to sell. And
Right.
so
It's hard to know.
It's really hard to know. And so I talked to China, and they wanted, like, I had to buy 10,000 units to start.
I
Well,
understand.
what if one color sells,
Right.
and then I've got to re-up for another 10,000?
Well, then how
it's
do you know?
impossible.
What if you place an order and you don't get it? Because there's no guarantee
Oh,
when it's
yeah.
coming by boat that it's actually going to come.
100%.
So you have to support
Yeah.
local.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and
But
so,
yeah,
but
I mean-
even local, that was a problem, which I will totally support local. But and there was a cut and sew in the next town over, in the next small town over. I was like, oh my God, it's like God has, like, given this to me. I was so
Yeah.
excited, and she came back to me as a price for $21 a headband, not including materials.
Yeah.
Not including materials. So it would have been like literally $25 a headband. I'm like, what am I going to do? Sell a $100
Right.
headband?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not going to work
Not
out.
gonna happen. Yeah.
And so during the pandemic, I started sewing masks. And around my 800th mask, I was like, why am I just not sewing my own headbands? And so I sat down and started,
Oh my
like,
gosh! So that was your
that
moment.
That was
you were
fully
sewing
my aha.
masks.
Yeah. And so, and
that's
honestly,
amazing.
I pay the ladies that work with me a total living rate. I let them work on their own flexible schedules, so they can work around their schedule. And so,
Love it.
And if they call and they're like, "Hey, I can't make it today," I'm like, "All right, great, whatever."
Right. Yeah. I mean, you have a good
Yeah.
relationship.
I'm
with
like,
them.
I don't
Yeah.
even care. Like, come in whenever you can. And so they can work around their schedule. If they want to come in, they do. If they don't, that's fine, whatever. And so so they can work around kids or
Right.
husbands or
How many
other
employees
jobs.
do you have?
2 right now.
Awesome.
And I'm working on hiring another 2. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if you're looking for a job,
Come on over.
and you're a good seamstress, and you don't like the color yellow.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Awesome. Well, gosh, it's just crazy how much talent you have and where you come from,
Oh my
and
gosh.
how much traveling you did and all the different jobs you had, and then here you are, doing what you love to do. So do you see your line growing?
Absolutely.
Into
I'm
other
actually
things?
yeah,
What are you
absolutely.
wanting to,
I am
launch?
hopefully before Christmas, since it's October, that's going to be a push.
Saying
But-
it makes it happen.
Yeah. Uh-oh. That may
Yeah.
or may not want to say. There's about to be a whole lot of sleepless nights in my future. But
Christmas, get your orders.
yeah. So I want to do a kids line. I'm working on a kids line.
Oh, and the
And
babies.
So, yeah.
Oh, I love
And
it.
then-
Yes.
so
Nayeli's like, yes.
You're
How
like-
many babies do you have, Nayeli? 5
Yeah.
babies.
No, you do not,
Yes.
you
I know, doesn't she
tiny
look
little
amazing?
thing.
Yeah, she looks amazing. 5 kids, and they're so freaking cute. I mean,
Oh my
adorable,
God.
adorable kids.
You are
yeah.
stunning.
Yeah.
Holy cow. All right. Not that
Yeah.
mommies aren't studying, but like,
No, she's
you're just
yeah.
the most adorable little
Yeah,
thing.
I'm like,
oh my God.
whatever. She just popped them out like it was no big deal. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5.
Five kids. I
Not
would
2,
look
not
like
3, 5.
I've been,
How many kids do you have? I have 5. Okay, awesome. Yeah.
You are winning and doing it with style.
Your
That's
kids could be
impressive.
the models for the new baby line. There you
There
go.
you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they are.
bring
they
them on
are
over.
cute kids. So.
So a kids line. I have a men's line coming out because I have a lot of men that come in that like work out, can't keep a headband in.
Oh.
Yeah, right. You wouldn't think.
That's
but
interesting.
Yeah. So kids,
Excited to see that one.
men. I'm trying to figure out how to rebrand it because everything is so like pink and girly right now.
Yep, get it.
So that, and then, I'm going into religious head coverings. There's actually 7 different religions that wear head coverings. And then
Very cool.
also travelers to the Middle East.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so like
a
people
total
that are
niche that like nobody's touching.
Oh yeah, like people that are not used to traveling and wearing head coverings. And so, what else am I doing? And then I'm also working on 2 different lines of like hair care stuff. So curls, curl keeper, like sleep caps that will actually stay on, and then hair drying ones that are like moisture wicking, so they're gonna pull that. So.
Oh my goodness.
There's things coming. So
you guys, she will amaze you and sway you. I think that is so cool because it's a niche that nobody's touching. And to the guy that said, you can't do this and got in the way, I mean, yeah, good for you for like saying, nope, I'm doing this.
Thank you. So I've actually had 3 guys break up with me over this.
Well, thank you, Lord, for getting them out of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
I appreciate that.
Like if you can't handle me, push on, buddy.
Yeah.
So
no, it's if they love you, they're gonna stand by you no matter what, all the way through.
100%.
Yeah. And you can't obviously if it was a man's world and you would be, no matter what job they would have, you would support them. Like, babe, you got this, you can do this, you're
and
gonna
you would
support
stay at
them.
home, not necessarily stay at
but
home,
you would.
like
Women do.
And you would hold
moms,
it down and take care of the kids and like do all the things.
And you would support them.
Yeah.
But to get that in return, it's because you're a female.
It's impossible.
Yeah. And it's like you can't make more money than me. Well, actually, I can.
Well, yeah, this is happening.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. And, I could be the sugar mama,
Yeah.
But you got to have a sugar daddy.
Right?
Sugar mama. All right, guys. Well, we just want to wrap this up. We want to say thank you so much. It was a pleasure to do this with you and chat with you. And we have to do this again because I want to find out, I got to see how these men wear these headbands. I'm like, that's what stuck in my head. I could just see, Richard Simmons in the gym.
Oh my God, how great would he be with the fro? Amazing.
Oh, everybody, thank you so much for listening to our podcast. It's Hang On What. We are on Wednesdays, Hump Day. And thank you so much, Tanya.
My gosh,
I love it.
you.
And I pray that you have amazing blessings and that we get orders from this and that you see a return fold from this. So,
oh my gosh.
Love you.
Thank
you. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
We appreciate it. Thank you for watching.
Audio